This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, February the 8th, is a NFL wide receiver. He's currently with the Eagles, but he's more known for being Atlanta's top pick in the 2011 NFL Draft and a star for Alabama. One of the best wide receivers of the 2010s. He was productive for Atlanta and looked pretty good. He was traded to Tennessee, then to Tampa, and now he plays for Philadelphia actively. He is a two-time receiving yards leader in NFL and 7 times Pro Bowl, part of the 2010s All-Decade team. His name is Julio Jones, who's now 35 years old. He was born February of 1989 in Foley, Alabama. And he grew up in a violent neighborhood, but he got to football and track for his outlet and all that. On National Signing Day in 2008, as he was the number 1 wide receiver ranked in the nation to go to college, he decided to go to Alabama. Perfect fit. I mean, he was born in Alabama. So he spent 3 years with the Crimson Tide, and he was an impact player. He became the first freshman wide receiver to start in a season opener for the Crimson Tide in 2008 against Clemson, catching 4 passes and 1 for a touchdown. He had a breakout performance against Georgia, in which he had 5 catches for 94 yards. He would pick up 5 catches for 124 yards in the 2008 SEC title game, as Alabama were supposed to beat Florida, but they failed. And all that. He looked pretty impressive. He started falling flat with a sophomore slump in 2009, but by the second half he just put up key plays, and Bama got revenge on Florida by winning the 2009 SEC title game, which meant that Julio Jones would be playing in the title game against the Longhorns in Pasadena. The passing game struggled, but they didn't need it as the running game took over, and Alabama knew something was right. And of course, an injury to Colt McCoy of Texas helped matters as Bama won 37-21. So Julio Jones won a national title. In 2010, he would play all 13 games again, but would pick up 1,133 receiving yards. So he looked pretty impressive for Alabama. And he starred in the Capital One Bowl against Michigan State, a big Bama victory. So in his 3 years at Bama, he made 179 catches for over 2,600 yards and 15 touchdowns. He decided to forego his senior season and decided to go pro. So, with the 6th pick in the 2011 draft, the Falcons decided to use their pick on Julio Jones, making him the second wide receiver pick after A.J. Green went to Cincy 4th overall. And what made it big was that the SEC had 5 of the first 6 picks, and Atlanta's pick came from Cleveland in a trade, so Cleveland could have had Julio Jones. But nope, it wasn't. So Atlanta got the 6th pick. Atlanta actually traded 5 draft picks to Cleveland to get Jones. Their priority and all of that. So he decided to wear number 11 with the Falcons. He signed a 4-year deal, and his debut was against the Bears. He caught 5 balls for 71 yards in the 2011 season to start with. In week 4, he picked up his first 100-yard receiving game. All in all, in his rookie campaign in 13 games, he led all rookies in touchdown catches with 8. And he picked up 959 receiving yards, second behind A.J. Green of the Bengals. He was named to the All-Rookie team and helped the Falcons make the playoffs. He would do okay, but the Falcons did not, so only scoring 2 points against the Giants in the wildcard round. His second season, he helped the Falcons get to 13 wins, which made him the top seed in the NFC. He picked up 182 yards receiving in the NFC title game, which was good. Unfortunately, though, it was in a 28-24 loss, despite his 2 touchdowns. It was just unbelievable. Anyway, 2013, he would have a pair of touchdowns. And the Falcons did not have a good season. He went through his option of his rookie campaign and was first in receptions and yards in the NFC. 104 receptions, 1,593 yards. But the Falcons were mediocre at 6-10. Despite all that, Atlanta signed him to a 5-year, $71 million guaranteed contract in 2015 and picked up 136 receptions. At that time, that was the 3rd most catches by a receiver in NFL history. So that's what happened. And then Jones would make a decent catch in the Super Bowl for Atlanta against the Patriots. Unfortunately, though, they lost that Super Bowl after being up 28-3. Julio Jones was a pretty good wide receiver for Atlanta for many years and all of that. Second in receiving yards in 2019. Saves and receptions. During the COVID season, he tried, but there were rumors he was leaving Atlanta and all that. Julio Jones told Shannon Sharp that he was out of there. He was out of Atlanta. Atlanta respected his wishes and traded him to Tennessee for a second-round pick in 2022. Jones would wear number 2 with the Titans because A.J. Brown wore number 11. So with the Titans in an injury-riddled season, he had 31 receptions for 434 yards and just 1 touchdown. But the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Despite all that, the Titans lost to the Bengals in the divisional round on a last-second field goal, and Jones was released from the Titans. Tampa Bay signed him to a 1-year deal, and he played for Tampa in the wildcard round for Dallas. Against Dallas, but they lost. So he made 2 receiving touchdowns, and then the Eagles signed him to the practice squad on October 23, and then he was elevated. So he appeared in 11 games in the 2023 season and got 3 receiving touchdowns. Time will tell if that will be his final season, but we don't know. Anyway, in 166 career games, he has caught for 13,703 receiving yards and 66 touchdowns. In the postseason, he's been in 11 of them, 992 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. He does hold the most games with more than 250 yards receiving, with 3. And is only one of 6 wide receivers to have a 300-yard receiving game, other than Jim Benton, Clay Block, Stephon Page, Flipper Anderson, and Calvin Johnson. He's been the fastest to 7,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11, 12, and 13,000 receiving yards in history. And has the most consecutive seasons with 1,400 plus yards receiving, 5. He has a lot of Atlanta records, too, and part of the 2010s All-Decade team, which he surely deserves. So, time will tell if he will finish his career in Philadelphia. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu. Right there.